All right, I would like you all to take a second to imagine a world in which you take a step and you're stepping in a pile of trash every few steps, and you also have to wear a mask when you walk around, and you need modern technology to basically survive. As you're imagining this, you're probably not imagining a very vibrant or livable home that you can actually live in. And nonetheless, this is a possible scenario if we continue treating the environment as we do now. And we are headed in that direction right now. But one of the easiest things you can do to help avoid this is to recycle. And it's really not a hard thing to do at all. And many people, though, when it comes to doing individual things, they think it doesn't have an impact as a whole on things, but this couldn't be any further from the truth. You see this with many things where people actively, the world will come together and do things, and it does make a difference in the end. And thankfully, with recycling, people are starting to realize this. It does make a difference, and people are coming together. According to a national survey of over 1,000 U.S. adults conducted by Ipsos Public Affairs, 9 in 10 adults, 87%, report that they recycle, though only half the adults, 51%, recycle every day. But this still does not mean that we are where we need to be when it comes to recycling. Many of you probably are a bit confused actually when it comes to recycling. I know I personally am. I do recycle every day, but I don't always know where to put certain items or what items I'm supposed to recycle. And so properly recycling can be a bit difficult. And so I've done a bit of research on how to properly recycle, and I'd like to share that with you today, and in hopes that you'll carry out this action. So today I'm going to talk about how if we properly recycle, we will see improvements in both the environment, the economy, and you will feel the rewards of creating a better planet. So I'll be covering why we need to actively and properly recycle, ways that you can implement this habit into your life, and how your life will be improved if we all start to actively recycle. So let's begin on why we should recycle. If we do not make a change in recycling habits, the environment is going to severely suffer. According to the World Watch Institute, waste is expected to double in the next 15 years, and we are going to see more pollution, landfills overfilling, and yes, you stepping in trash every few steps, and a rising global temperatures, which will lead to us hardly being able to survive without modern technology. Recycling also prevents waste from going into the ocean, and our oceans make up 75% of this world, so we really need to be taking care of them. It is proven when there's a weak recycling culture, there's more litter and more waste going into the oceans, which definitely makes sense. And also according to the World Watch Institute, in the US, we make up less than 5% of the global population, but we generate more waste than any other country, which is really, really sad, but it makes sense because we're so materialistic. And that's even more of a reason we need to be recycling the things that we're using if we want to continue our materialism. And another thing, an improvement in the economy will be seen if we all recycle. Recycling is a $2 billion industry, which I don't know why we wouldn't want $200 billion more dollars into our economy. So it's definitely a reason to do it. Also, EcoCycle Solutions says that recycling creates 30 more jobs than landfills do. A lot of conservative states especially have this mentality that if you take away or if you start environmental businesses, it's going to take away from those other businesses that are destroying our planet. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, yes, those jobs are being destroyed somewhat, but even more jobs are being created, and we just need to switch our society over into that type of thinking that where we can have people doing these jobs that is creating a better economy for us in the end. So I don't know why we wouldn't want to do that in the end. So now that we know why recycling is so important, let's look at the ways to integrate proper recycling into our daily life. Standardized labels on recycling bins would help people to recycle properly. Just as we have standardized stop signs and street signs and whatever else, so we know what we're all supposed to be doing, we should also have standardized labels for recycling. According to Recycle Across America, one of the largest reasons for a decrease in recycling plants is due to contamination in garbage and recycling bins. And this problem could be reversed if we were to use standardized labels. These recycling plants are not making as much money as they'd like to be making and they're losing money actually because people don't know how to properly recycle. So to help make standardized labels a reality, there are some things you can do, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a little bit here. But there are numerous of other ways that you can also just do it without these labels. It's a little more difficult, but there are steps you can take. Creating an additional bin is really important if you haven't already done this. Hopefully you have. And we have about 75% of the things that we throw away could be recycled. So just having this bin in your house to put things will actually fill up a lot faster than your own garbage can will. So that's important. Also, just when you're out and about, look for those recycling bins. They're usually, you can find in most places you are. Just take those few extra seconds that it takes. And then taking time to understand where things need to be put and what can actually be recycled is crucial. Clean, dry. Here in Kootenai County, or Coeur d'Alene, the Coeur d'Alene Garbage Company, they say that clean and dry paper and cardboard can go in. The key word here is clean. It needs to definitely be clean. So newspapers, flash and cardboard, junk mail and envelopes, magazines and catalogs, telephone books and paper boxes are good to go. Clean plastics number 1 and 2 only. Make sure you take off those lids and you rinse them out, take off the caps. This can be I forget to do this sometimes, and I know I've thrown them in there, but make sure you're trying to take those off. And then clean metals, tin cans, and aluminum can go in there. And now there's some that definitely can't, at least here, glass of any kind, no plastics. Thing with these two, glass, you can go down to the landfill here on Ramsey, they'll take glass and recycle it for you. Plastic bags, you can go over to Lowe's. I'm sure a ton of you guys have a ton of these sitting around at home, and you can take them down to Lowe's and they'll recycle them for you. And you don't have to do this every week. You don't have to do it every month. Do it every few months, and it's really not that far out of your way to make a better home. And then no plastic utensils, garbage on them, contamination. No styrofoam, batteries, or shredded paper. No paper towels or napkins, again because of that. Garbage could be on them and contamination. No yard waste, food waste, needles, syringes, of course not. Toxic containers or fluorescent bulbs. Again, if we were to create these standardized labels, yes, it would be a lot more convenient for all of us, and you would easily be able to, it just tells you exactly what needs to go where, and it makes a lot more sense. But if these recycling concepts are integrated into our lives, there will be an improvement in both the lives of this generation and the generations to come. And when recycling reaches 75%, both environmental and economic benefits will be seen. Standardized labels will lead to a positive benefits, and then you'll also get this sense of self-fulfillment, at least I hope you do, out of doing something good for yourself and those around you. So now that we know why recycling is so important and how it can drastically change societies for the better, let's wrap up. I've shown you today that if we begin to properly recycle, we see improvements in both the environment, the economy, and we'll personally feel the rewards of creating a better planet. In order to do this, I've shown you why we all need to actively and properly recycle in the ways that you can implement proper recycling into your life. This in turn will create an improved life for yourself. It is impossible to deny that recycling has positive impacts. And unless you enjoy ruining your home, there is no reason that you should not be recycling. I understand that it is hard to know what should and should not be recycled, so that is why I'm asking you today to go to recycleacrossamerica.com and join me in signing the petition of asking mayors to put these standardized labels into use. You can also encourage your workplaces to your school and businesses to start using these standardized labels. And back to the petition, it's very easy to sign. All you have to do is put your name on there and your email and click enter. I did it, and super simple. And then maybe consider donating if you have the funds. But if not, still the number one thing you need to do is just be aware. Know what can be recycled, what cannot, and take those few extra seconds to just make a more vibrant and livable home for all of us. Any questions? Yeah, maybe they do.
That depends. Do you recycle?